Alright, so if you want to set up rigidity on an item, here's a good test case. I've got a box that sticks out of the back. Even though these vertices way out here are all far away from the body, any morphs that apply on the body that affect up here will affect way out here. So, you want to fix that, you set up rigidity. And the simplest way to do this is switch to the object. I'm going to leave this morph dialed up so we can see the changes when they happen. And you want to select the polygons and polygon selection, select all. Okay. And then you're going to go to the tool settings. You see rigidity's down here. And go ahead and click, say, create rigidity group from selected. And I'm just going to call it back. Okay, so all these polygons got assigned as participants. And I'm going to switch to wire texture shaded. And now I need to choose some polygons to use as reference. The reference basically tells how they're going to get distorted when a morph is applied. You do need to know how to move when a morph is applied. So I'm going to pick a few points, or a few faces here. First I'm going to deselect everything. Well, if I just click, I select. So I'm going to select, say, that one there. And just for sake of setting it up quick, I'm just going to select these four. Okay? And then you assign it. So now there are four faces here. Now, with everything selected, so you can hit Control Star, or you can go Polygon Selection and select all. We need to go to the weight map brush, and we want to add a rigidity map. Select it, right click, and say Fill Selected Faces to 100%. And now rigidity is set up. If I go and I clear generated morphs, because remember this morph was generated, so it's messed up. Clear generated morphs. Now this is rigid, and if I switch to the female and I start dialing up morphs, you can see that it's not distorting like it was before. Now you will see that there's some scale happening. But we can change that as well. Go back to here, go back to this tool, right click and say polygon editing, or polygon assignment, sorry, rigidity group editor. You open that up, you can see that it's actually scaling, and you can just go and just say no scale. No scale. Hit accept. Clear your generated morphs. And now as you dial these up, it's not scaling anymore. But it seems to follow the body relatively well. And that is how you set up a rigid item. Now there are more options that you can mess with. Let's just kind of walk through those really quickly. Okay, if I had extra bones on here, then I would need to go into Transform Bones and right click and say Add Transform Bone and choose the base bone for my extra bones. So if this was a wing set and I had wing 1, 2, 3, 4, I had 4 bones extending out the back, then I would go and add the transform bone of wing 1, and then that would cause the bones to move with the geometry, which you definitely need if you have extra bones there. And then mask morphs with types. This one might be important. You can right click on here, add filter, and do modifier corrective. You definitely don't, well, I can't say definitely, you usually don't want correctives to modify your rigid items, so you can just say modifier corrective, and then say OK, and then save your object out, and all this rigidity stuff will save in the backend file, the .dsf files in the data folder. And any morphs that get added to the figure at any time will just affect it the same way. And you won't get major distortion.